Chapter 3, Money and Banking. Money. We all are familiar with the term money. In our pocket, we always find some amount of money with us. But in economics terms, we can define money anything which is generally accepted as medium of exchange, measure of value, store of value, and means for standard of deferred payment. Earlier, we all know commodities were exchanged for commodities, and this was called as barter system, or we can call this as CC economy, commodity to commodity economy. But barter system could only work when there existed double coincidence of wants, which means that whatever things I am willing to give, I should find a person who's ready to take what I am giving, and I'm ready to accept what he's giving. Suppose I'm looking for some wheat, but I have rice to give. So I had to look for a person who's willing to give wheat and is ready to take rice. So on this line, there are certain limitations of barter system. Number one, lack of double coincidence of want. Like same commodities are required by other person which you are giving in exchange. Next, lack of common measure of value. Some goods were their value was more than the other goods. Metals are more expensive as compared to the food grains, etc. So there was no common measure of value. Lack of standard of deferred payment. Deferred payment involves future payment, and this was not possible in the case of perishable goods. Next, lack of store of value. Again, for the perishable good, we could not store, but when money came into existence, it solved all such problems. Functions of money. We have discussed in the first slide also. There are two kinds of function: primary function and secondary function. Primary, medium of exchange, and measure of value. Money is used to buy goods and services, so it is used as a medium of exchange. Measure of value. In terms of money, we can measure anything, whether it is metal, food grains, services, etc. Next, store of value. Things cannot be stored for a longer period of time, but money can be stored for a longer period of time. Here I am talking about perishable goods which cannot be stored. Standard of deferred payment. Payment in money can be postponed for the future deal also. Supply of money or money supply. Money supply is the total volume of money held by the public at a particular point of time. It is a stock concept since it involves a particular point of time. It is only the money with the public, not with the government or the banking system of the country. Measurement of money supply. Till 1967-68, RBI used only the narrow measure of money supply, but since 1977, four alternate measures of money supply came into existence: M1, M2, M3, M4. M1, currency held by public plus demand deposit plus other deposits held by RBI. M2, M1 plus deposit with post office saving bank account. M3, M1 plus net time deposits with commercial bank. M4, M3 plus total deposit with post office. On the same line, we need to know about the high-powered money. Currency with public, which is created by central bank or RBI in India. Currency notes or coins held by public and cash reserves with the money. These are called as high-powered because these can be easily converted or can be used for exchange of goods and services. Bank money. Demand deposits with the bank, which are created by the commercial banks, are called as bank money. The concept of cash balance. There are two concepts involved, that is the amount of money held by the people at a point of time. Nominal cash balance with the public without considering how much of the goods and services a rupee can buy from the market. And real cash balance is the one which tells us how much goods and services a rupee buys in the market related to the price level. So we find that real cash balance is a much more important phenomena as compared to nominal cash balance. We demand money, the demand for the money. Money is demanded for transaction motive to buy goods and services. Precautionary motive, that means to take care of the future, anything happens, we need to have a money. Speculative motive is again connected with the future inflation and deflation aspects. Banking, commercial bank and the central bank. First, we'll focus on commercial bank. It is a financial institution which accepts deposit from the people and gives loan for the purpose of consumption and investment. It is the primary unit of the Indian banking system and earns profits and offer a variety of services. For example, State Bank of India, Punjab Bank of India, Canara Bank, SDFC, ICICI, IDFC. There are many banks which are dealing directly with the people are called as commercial banks. Functions of commercial bank. There are two kind of function, primary function, secondary function. Primary involves accepting deposits and advancing loan. This we all are familiar that whenever we go to the bank, we are either depositing some amount or we are applying for the loan. Secondary function. One is an agency function and another one is general utility function. Primary function. Accepting deposits, checkable deposit and non-checkable deposit. Current deposit, fixed deposit, saving bank deposit. This we will study little bit in detail in our coming slides. Advancing loan is cash credit, demand loans and short-term loans. Secondary function, agency function, collection and payment of various items. We all know that whenever we buy goods and services, the transaction is done with the help of our bank. Next is purchase and sale of security. Whenever we buy securities in the stock market, again our demat account is linked with the bank we are dealing with. Trustee and executor of property of the customer. Any customer can make bank as trustee and executor of their property. Remitting of money. They also make payment whenever we buy anything or we make any transaction. It can be done with the help of banks. Purchase and sale of foreign exchange. We buy and sell foreign exchange through banks also. Letter of reference regarding the financial condition of a person is given by the bank whenever he is undertaking any business venture or applying for the loan. Underwriting. It is also one of the function being done by the banks to give information about various things. General utility services. It involves locker facilities. Many of you must be aware that your parents have got locker facility in the bank where they can keep their valuables over there. Traveler's check. This was very common in the up to 1980s, but with the coming of credit card and debit card, traveler's checks are not very common these days. So it is somewhat like credit card or debit card. Banks also provide us with business information about inflation activities and inflation and deflation in the economy. It helps in the transportation of goods. Whenever any person want to send some goods to another person through in the another city, they take the help of the bank for making payments and receiving the payments. Letter of credit about the financial status of a person starting any business venture. money creation or credit creation or deposit creation. This is one of the main very important concept in banking chapter. We all know commercial banks deal directly with the people. They are the main source of money supply in the economy. They supply money by creating credit. They create credit in the form of demand deposit. Demand deposits of the bank are much more than their reserves. Bank keep a portion of deposit which is legally compulsory, which is called as legal reserve rate ratio or LLR, which is fixed by the RBI or the central bank. To meet the daily demand for withdrawal of cash, bank keep a fraction. Suppose it keeps a fraction of 20%, which is called as LLR. Here is a table which explains how bank creates credit. If the initial deposit is 1000 and the LLR is 20%, bank create credit almost 5 times of the initial deposit. They give the loans, they keep some amount as a cash reserve also. The loan which is given to the people is not handed over in the form of cash, but it is being deposited in the bank. Then again, the process continues, and with LLR being 20%, the bank creates credit almost 5 times of its initial deposit. This creation of 5 times of initial deposit is also called as money multiplier. Now we'll focus on the concept of money multiplier. It is also called as deposit multiplier. It measures the amount of money that the bank are able to create in the form of deposit with every unit of money it keeps as reserve. Money multiplier is 1 upon LLR, which is 1 upon 20% is 5. That means the bank can easily create 5 times of its deposit, initial deposit, if the LLR is 20%. Higher the value of LLR, lower the value of money multiplier, less money is created by the banking system. Primary and secondary deposits. Primary deposits are the deposits with the commercial bank by the people. These are also called as demand deposit. It reflects the savings of the depositor with the bank. Suppose I have got a saving bank account with the bank. Whatever amount I deposit in that account is called as primary deposit. There are another one is secondary deposit. They arise on account of loan by the banks to the people. These are also called as, these are demand deposits of the bank, also called as derivative deposit. Suppose I apply for loan in the bank. Bank asks me to open an account, and bank never gives loan directly in the form of cash, but they deposit the amount of loan in my account which I have opened with the bank. So such accounts and the deposit in the form of loan in these accounts is called as secondary deposits. Types of deposits. Fixed or time deposit. This is for a fixed period of time. The rate of interest is higher. If I open a fixed account for a period of 1 year, I'm not supposed to withdraw money, but in any circumstances I need to withdraw, some kind of penalty is deducted from this. Current or demand deposit account, the depositor can withdraw any number of time but no interest is paid. Saving deposit account, which is very common. I think almost every citizen who's dealing with the bank will have a saving deposit account. Restrictions are imposed by the bank on the amount and the number of times the money is withdrawn. The rate of interest is lower than the fixed deposit. Home safe saving account. A small portable safe is provided by the bank at depositor's place and key is with the bank. Depositor put small savings as per his convenience. These savings are being collected by bank through their agent. Interest is paid, which is less than the saving bank account. Recurring deposit. Some amount of money is deposited every month for a specific period of time. Interest is paid more than the saving bank account. in this. Role of commercial bank in economic development. We all are aware that commercial banks are dealing directly with the public, and their primary function is accepting deposits and advancing loans. So whatever amount of money is deposited with them is given as loan for various business ventures, maybe innovations, sometime rural development, sometime to create market demand in the case of deflation, economic stability and employment opportunities. So number one, capital formation mobilizes savings of the people and give loans to people who are starting their business venture. Innovation by providing credit to enterprises to start anything new. Development of rural sector, liberal credit at concessional rate. Market demand by providing various loans. Economic stability by expanding credit and squeezing credit on the directions of the central bank in the time of inflation and deflation. Employment opportunities by providing loans to small enterprises at its concessional rate. Types of commercial banks. There are two types. One is scheduled commercial bank and non-scheduled commercial banks. Scheduled commercial banks follow the guidelines of the RBI. There are public sector banks, SBI, Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, private banks like ICICI, SDFC, and foreign banks like Citibank, Standard Chartered Bank. Non-scheduled banks, they do not follow the guidelines of the RBI. These banks are smaller than the scheduled bank. Generally, it is being observed that your money is more safe with scheduled commercial bank rather than with non-scheduled commercial banks. The central bank. In India, the central bank is RBI or Reserve Bank of India. USA, it is Federal Reserve System. UK, it is Bank of England. Central Bank or Reserve Bank of India. Central bank is regarded as the center of all monetary, financial and banking activities. It controls the entire banking system of the country. In India, RBI set up on April 1935 under RBI Act passed in 1934. USA, the similar bank is Federal Reserve System. England, it is Bank of England. Central bank is an apex body that controls, operates, regulates and directs the entire banking and monetary structure of the country. Functions of the central bank are issue of notes or currency authority, banker to the government. RBI is the one which issues the currency note. Coins and 1 rupee note is being issued by the Ministry of Finance. Rest all the currency notes in any denomination above rupee 1 are issued by the central bank. Bankers to the government. It is a bank. Government deposits and withdraw from RBI. Bankers bank. All the bank have to maintain some amount of money with the RBI. All the commercial banks, they deposit the money and they can ask for loan or help from RBI. Supervision of banks. Since it manages the entire banking system, so it supervises the commercial bank. It is a lender of last resort in the case any commercial bank is under any crisis. Custodian of foreign exchange. They keep a control of foreign exchange. And they maintain that the amount of how much amount of foreign exchange is available there. Clearinghouse function between the two commercial banks. It controls the credit during the times of inflation and deflation and collects statistics regarding the economic and financial activities within the country. Monetary policy of the central bank. Quantitative instruments of monetary policy. Number one, bank rate or discount rate. The rate at which the central bank lends money to the commercial bank as a lender of last resort. The increase or decrease is followed by increase or decrease in interest rate. During inflation, bank rate is increased to reduce the flow of capital, and in deflation, it is decreased to increase the flow of capital. Whatever the bank rate, our interest rate from the commercial bank will be decided on the basis of the bank rate. So during inflation, this rate is increased so that the commercial banks borrow less amount and give less loans to the people and reduces the supply of money. Thus, the demand also decreases. Open market operation. The sale and purchase of securities in the open market by the central bank. During inflation, central bank sells the securities and take the cash back with them and reduces the cash balance in the economy, and it is vice versa in the case of deflation. Cash reserve ratio. Minimum percentage of a bank's total deposit required to be kept with the central bank. During inflation, this rate is increased so that the money supply in the market or in the economy is reduced, and it is vice versa for deflation. Next, statutory liquidity ratio, SLR. Every bank is required to maintain a fixed percentage of its assets in the form of cash or other liquid assets. During inflation, it is increased to reduce the flow of credit in the economy, and vice versa for deflation. Qualitative instrument of monetary policy. Margin requirement. Whenever anybody takes loan, they need to keep some collateral with the bank. So if the collateral cost is 1 crore, the amount of loan is generally given as 70% or 80%. So during inflation, this margin is increased and less amount of loan is given to the people to reduce the flow of credit in the economy, and in deflation, this margin is decreased. Rationing of credit. Fixation of credit quota for different business activities or sectors of the economy is done by the RBI. Direct action. RBI can take direct action against member banks in case they do not comply with its direction. They can derecognize the commercial bank as a member of country's banking system. If derecognition takes place, people lose trust in that particular bank, commercial bank. Moral sanction. They make the member bank agree through persuasion or pressure to follow its directives on the flow of credit during the time of inflation. Be strict in the flow of credit during the time of inflation and liberal in lending during the time of deflation, so that more demand can be increased and an economy can come back to the path of development. Central bank. Exclusive right of currency issue. Monopoly right of note issue. It is in the entire country, RBI is the only one which issues the currency note. Only the coins and 1 rupee note is issued by the Ministry of Finance. It imparts uniformity to the monetary system. If it is 500 rupee note, it looks similar. That means uniformity, since only one authority issues the note. People's confidence in the currency as the central bank enjoys government support. Monopoly right of note issue imparts elasticity to monetary system. Supply of money can be conveniently increased or decreased due to this. It is a profitable business when it is done by the central bank. The profit earned goes to the state exchequer. This is all about the chapter Money and Banking.